Hi, welcome to today's lesson. What we're going to be looking at today is timesing and dividing algebraic fractions. I personally think that this is slightly easier than adding and subtracting algebraic fractions. Okay, so times and divide algebraic fractions. Algebraic fractions. Alright, the easiest way to do it, I think, is to just look at an example. So we're going to do 3a over 2b to the power of 3 plus times by 8b over a squared. 3a over 2b cubed, e.g., times by 8b over a squared. Are you all with me? Okay. Now, this is pretty straightforward, but I'm going to just expand a little bit to use that to explain. So, here's the thinking behind this. 3a is 3 times a. That's what 3a is. Times 8, I'm going to write like this. 2 times 2 times 2. I'll show you a faster way to do this in a minute. Times by b. All over, at the bottom I've got 2 times b cubed is b times b times b. All over, times by, sorry, a squared, a times a. Okay, so that's expanding it. This is how I would explain it to like a year 7, for example. If year 7s would multiply and divide algebraic fractions, but they don't, but if they did. Anyway, so this is where we're at. Now we just say, well, what cancels? Well, that a cancels that a. One of those b's cancels one of those b's, and one of those 2 cancels one of those 2's. And what have I got as the answer? Well, I've got what's left over. So what's left over is 3 times 2, which is 6, times 2, which is 12, all over, nothing else on top, b times b, which is b squared, times a. That's it. All over ab squared. Alrighty. That's quite a long-winded way to do it. So let's see if we can't speed it up in the next example, okay? So in the next example, I'm going to do 7e over 15d, e.g. 7e over 15d divided by, no issue, don't let it worry you, okay? 21 over 10e to the power of 4. 21 over 10 e to the power of 4. Okie dokie. So, first thing that I'm going to do is it e or is it d? Well, it's d to the power of 4. It's d to the power of 4, sorry. D to the power of 4. Right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this. Whenever I divide by a fraction, I invert and multiply. We should have got that when we did dividing by fractions. Okay, so I invert and multiply. 7e over 15d times by the reciprocal of this. 10d to the 4 all over 21. Right. And now I say, okay, right, what can cancel? Okay, you should have done this already when you did dividing and timesing fractions. So, well, 7 goes into 7 once and into 21 3 times. This would be the way I would actually do that one instead of expanding it long-winded. Okay. 15 and 10 both have a 5. So 5 goes into 15 3 times and goes into 10 twice. You still with me? And now let's look at the letter part. Well, e, there's no e's at the bottom for me to cancel, okay? But d to the power of 1, so d to the 4 divided by d to the power of 1 gives me d to the power of 3. When I divide powers, I subtract exponents. Okay, and that's it. We're done. All we have to do is tidy this guy up. So right next to it here, on top, 1 times 2 is 2e d cubed. Normally we write it in alphabetical order. Okay. Over at the bottom, 3 times 3, 9. Okie dokie. Nothing more I can do because there's no common factors at bottom and top that can cancel. Okay. That's as far as I can go. Right. Piece of cake, huh? Okay. Let's try one more harder one. Right. So that one, those two, not too bad. You shouldn't have had too much issue with those. But now this one, this is where the challenge comes in, which is fun. Ooh. Okay, so I've got 3c, e.g., 3c over c plus 2. c plus 2. Divided by. Divided by. Can't read my own handwriting. 3c minus 6 over c squared minus 4. 3c minus 6 over c squared minus 4. Okay, I want to use this because I'm going to get something to cancel and work out nicely. Right. Okay, now, if you watch the duplicate factors on the previous video, you know that the first thing I have to do is I have to check if there are any common factors anything can factorize. So I stopped and I said, okay, great. Can anything factorize in the first thing? No. Well, I've got a monomial on top and I've got a binomial at the bottom, but there's no common factors in anything. So the first one stays 3c over c plus 2, divided by. Don't do too many moves at once. You can do this all at once, but yeah, I'd rather not. Let's factorize this. There's a common factor on top here, 3. If I take a 3 out of 3c, I'm left with c. If I take a 3 out of 6, I'm left with minus 2. You with me? Common factor of 3 on top. Common factor at the bottom. Well, hang on a second. That's a perfect square, that's a perfect square. So I've got a difference of 2 squares. So I can factorize this into c minus 2, c plus 2. If you're not sure about how I did that, go watch the video on factorization, difference of 2 squares. Okay. Alrighty then. Now, next step, I'm going to flip. Okay. So, we've got 3c over c plus 2. When I divide by fraction, I invert and multiply. The same as timesing by its reciprocal. c minus 2 times by c plus 2 all over 3c minus 2. Everything just goes like that. If I could hit my board, and I could do it with my board, I just flip the whole board. The board's not translucent, so we go back to the first page. Ah, wouldn't get anywhere. Okie dokie. Now let's cancel. The one thing that you also have to just be aware of is that this long divide line groups that into one term. Okay, it's one small thing to be aware of. So, what have we got on top? Well, I've got the c minus 2 and I've got a c minus 2. Those two go. See ya. I've got a c plus 2 and I've got a c plus 2. That cancels with that. See ya. And then I've got 3 cancelled with 3. Okay. Once it's factorized, alright, once I have one term on top, one term at the bottom, and then the multiplication in brackets, group terms, then I can cancel. Okay. So I've cancelled everything, and what am I left over with? Everything pops out to one lone c. That's all that's left over. C on top, an invisible 1 at the bottom, for once with a better idea. Okay. And then out pops just c. So the answer to this big, huge thing is c. Are you with me? Okay, go check out the notes on the blog. There's more information on the side there, little tips and tricks. There's more videos on this channel. Alright? Remember, I'm here for you.